Hi, my name is Tom Haak of the HR Trend Institute. I'm going to make a small series of videos around the theme: how can you use the HR trends, the important people and organization trends, to have real impact in your organization and to solve burning organizational issues. So this is video number 1 in this series. A little experiment. I'm trying to record what I write down at the same time. Let's see how that works. So I will, maybe in a little bit mechanical way, describe the steps you probably could take. And step number 1, and let me see whether I can see it clearly. Yes, step number 1 has to do with what are our big organizational issues. Step number 1. What are the big organizational issues? Let's call them A, B, and C. And that might be easily asked, but sometimes when I speak to HR teams, they find it difficult to really crisply define those organizational issues. There's a tendency in HR, but also in management, to immediately go to the level of HR areas, HR interventions. For example, you ask, what are big organizational issues? And the answer is talent management. Maybe, but talent management is one of the tools, one of the areas you could work on to deal with an organizational issue. So, number 1, what are the organizational issues? And they are often in the area of growth. They are in the area of innovation. They're in the area of survival. We have to survive by innovation and by growth. Those type of areas are often the big organizational issues. And for government organizations, it might be different. It might be, how do we really service our clients in society in the best possible way and in a way that they really trust us. Step number 1. Step number 2 has to do with the HR, let's call them HR interventions. What are the areas where we could do something to help solve the big organizational issues? And in any handbook you can find the areas. I won't go through all of them, but for example, it has to do with organizational design. How are we organized? It has to do with recruitment. Do we have the right people? Do we have to find new people? It has to do with selection, not only of new people, but also the selection of people for new positions. It has, of course, to do with compensation and benefits. It has to do with learning and development. It has to do with teamwork, and so on. I would expect that HR professionals, at least as a team, master these disciplines and know what works, what does not work. So it also has a lot to do with analytics. Do we know what works? So the first exercise is determine your big organizational issues. Not 20, not 10, but maybe 3. The second is the exercise: which of the HR areas, HR intervention areas, could help to tackle those issues. So starting issue A, you say, hey, organizational design. Could that be an area where we do something? And maybe you give it between 1 and 5 stars. 5 stars is high expectations that through an intervention in this area we can really contribute. And 0 stars is, well, yeah, no expectation at all. So you go through the areas, and of course that requires some discussion. It requires some analytics as well. Where's the proof? But let's assume, next step, that you come up with a kind of matrix. So you have issue number A, and you say, well, from all the intervention area, there are maybe 2 or 3 where we have high expectations. Often recruitment is on that list. Often recruitment is one of the most powerful, you could also call it staffing. Recruitment is getting people from outside, but staffing is more how do we make winning teams in the organization? Who do we put at what type of position? Often learning and development is on the list. Question mark. Is that really an area where you can have a big impact? Of course, organizational design is also one of the powerful tools. But let's assume that your issue is around innovation. We have to be a lot more innovative. Of course, you can say, well, we can hire new people. Of course, we could organize in a different way so that there is more focus on innovation. And we could learn our people to be more innovative. I'm saying it with some hesitancy, but you can come up with solutions in the learning and development domain. So that's step number 2. Step number 1, what are the big issues? Step number 2, in which HR practice areas can we contribute? And then we come to the trends. And on our website, you can find a list of 13 kind of standard or mega trends, certain trends areas that are generally could be relevant. So the third step is around the trends. Of course, understanding the trends, but also saying, hey, if recruitment is a possible solution area, how could we do that in a way that we really do that by using the trends, that we use the trends, that we innovate, that we do it differently, that we do it faster, that we do it more creatively. And then you can go through the trend areas, 13, but it could be 10. Say, hey, which trend areas could help us in that recruitment domain? Often it's about technology, always big possibility, personalization, always big opportunities, and so on. I will tackle that in one of the coming videos. So I think I've reached the end of the framework. The framework is 1, determining your big organizational issues. 2, in which areas could we really contribute from a people and organization perspective to tackle those issues. 3, hey, if we have determined the areas, which trends might help us? All right, I hope it is all clear. If not, please let me know. Go to the hrtrendinstitute.com web page. There you can find more information. I recommend you to read the articles around trends for 22, 21, 20. And that's good, let's say, background reading for the next sessions. Go to YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, Tom Haak, on YouTube, or link to me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is probably also the best way to contact me if you have any remarks, questions, suggestions. So take care, all the best.